JavaScript can create 3 pop-ups, 3 types of pop-ups. So who can remind us? Okay. Mabruk.
Madam, my hand is down.
Okay. Who can remind us about the 3 types of pop-ups that you can use JavaScript to create?
Madam,
Yes.
we have the alert, then we have
Yes.
the confirm and the prompt.
Thank you. So you can use it to create pop-ups to give message to website user using the alert. So apart from that, you can create prompt for user to enter something. Okay, and we have the confirm. Confirm is used to verify if what the action you have taken you want to continue or not. For example, if you are deleting a file, so the file you use confirm on that. All right. So there are many other things we can use JavaScript for, such as adding date to our website. Date, you just call the date function and it will display the current day of your computer or a server somewhere. So dynamic content such as scrolling text and scrolling images on website, you can use JavaScript to do that. All right. So today we're going to begin with new web technology, which is PHP. New web technology, which is PHP. Okay. PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. Okay. So let me write it here for you. Hypertext Preprocessor. Okay. So mostly you make the other T uppercase. So Hypertext Preprocessor. Okay. It is a server-side scripting language. So compared to JavaScript, PHP is a server-side scripting language. Remember, JavaScript we finish is a scripting language on the client. This is so because anywhere you save the file, you can debug it. You can debug it. But with PHP, you have to install a server. All your document will be run on the server. Without the server, you can see nothing. Okay. So now, before you can start processing a PHP document, you have to download and install a server. So that's what I put here. You go to php.net, the website you can download for your computer. Okay. So if you are running a Windows operating system, you get it there. Mac, Linux, any of them, you install. Okay. After you install the server, what we'll be doing here is to use XAMPP. We're going to install XAMPP. If you have done database or you are now doing database, you should have installed XAMPP or WAMP by now. Okay. XAMPP is an integration of Apache, PHP, and SQL. XAMPP. So some of these integrated. Hello, Ebenezer. You can't see the screen. What is he talking about?
Madam, we can see just that the minimized Google Meet is placed on part of the slide.
The document. Okay. All right. So if I move it down to, let me see. Is it better now?
Yes, madam.
It's better now. Okay. 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 All right. So we started by saying that PHP that we are starting, it stands for hypertext preprocessor. Okay. So it is a server-side scripting language. So say it's a server-side scripting language. Okay. That's one of the characteristics. It can only run on the server. So it's a server-side scripting language. Another thing we should think about PHP is that it is used to create interactive and dynamic websites. Yeah. And anytime you think of a big application that involve database, you should think of PHP. It allows HTML content to interact with database, or through HTML form, you can store your content in a database. Okay, so that is one some of the characteristics of the PHP. So now install your PHP. So I'll just move this to introduction. What did I do? So let me ask, how many of you have installed XAMPP on your computer? Oh, thank you. All right, so that's good. So that will make our work easier. Okay. What did I do? Those things I type about. Okay. So if I cut this, all right. So this is what I want. That should be on our introduction. Okay. All right. All right. So to install the server, we can go to php.net. You can do that individually, or you install the WAMP server or XAMPP server. Okay. On my laptop, I have installed XAMPP. I've installed XAMPP server on this laptop. So we'll work with XAMPP. If you have not gotten it, you can download and install XAMPP. Okay. So here we're saying when you install XAMPP, you have Apache, PHP, and MariaDB, a relational database, all bundled together for you. Okay, all bundled for you to use. This is because the PHP is very important in writing the program. You need the engine to be able to work with your everything. After you have installed your XAMPP, you just download and install. Okay. You have to start your server anytime you want to write a PHP. You have to start your server. So right now, I'm going to start my server. If not, I cannot. So I'll just type the example. We have the example. Okay. What did I do? Exam. So it's like I don't have it on this machine. So I'll download and install. Okay. I don't have it on this machine. So I'll change my machine and we'll continue. So you have XAMPP, you start your server. Without the server, there's no way we can run example. Okay. Let me change this laptop. There's no XAMPP here. All right. So we'll continue once I start the other machine. So the first thing you must know about the PHP is that you have to embed it in HTML pages. You type directly into the HTML because you are going to take this HTML content such as text, images, database through the form and give them identifier. The identifier will be manipulated using PHP. Okay. A web document containing PHP code must have .php extension. You save your page as .php. Earlier, we said you can save .js, JavaScript, and embed it into HTML. The example is also here for PHP. You use your text editor and your file extension will be .php. Okay. Also note that PHP code is never sent to a client's web browser. It will be processed through the PHP engine. It will be processed and the output is displayed on your browser. So everything is processed with the PHP engine within your server and the output will be sent to your browser to be displayed to your client. Okay. All right. So the same thing we are saying here. Okay. The general format of a PHP document are what is displayed here. We have four general formats to write your PHP. You start with the PHP. This is our instruction, PHP instruction. Then you can type anything you want using the PHP syntax. Then you close your PHP start instruction. The second way you can use or write your PHP is to use the short format. The short format with our PHP is less than symbol and the question mark. You write all your PHP code, then you close it with the closing instruction. Okay. The third form, you do like you are writing JavaScript using the script tag, where you have the language attribute. Language equals PHP. You have the language attribute there. You write all your PHP code, then you close it with the script tag. Then we have the ASP star. ASP star is also less than and percentage. Write everything, then you close it. You can just use one of them. This is the default or the standard one of writing PHP block, PHP code block. Why must we start with an instruction? It's to allow the PHP engine to identify this string and process it as PHP. Okay. Here we want to compare JavaScript with PHP. So we said, just like JavaScript, white spaces are ignored. The indentation, the spaces you put in between code are called white spaces. Then we said they are ignored here. Just like JavaScript, in PHP, you end the lines with semicolon. The termination. So if you see the code I wrote earlier, you see that this is just a single code instruction. You see how they end with semicolon, semicolon, semicolon. There. All right. So unlike JavaScript, PHP code is executed on the server, and the result will display on the browser. It's different to JavaScript at all. PHP can be used for dynamic typing. Okay, PHP uses dynamic typing, the same as Java. So that's why we said with dynamic typing, you don't declare the data types. When you are writing your program to do something, you don't declare the data type either as integer or string or double, whatever. No, it's dynamic typing. It will read, the engine, PHP engine will read your code and determine if you assign, so let's say here, if I say variable s, okay, if I say x equals 2, s equals 2. So you see this laptop, I can't even see the equal. Okay. All right. So if I say s equals 2, okay. So 2 is taken as integer automatically. So it's saying that the s is an integer. But if I say s equals comma. Automatically, comma will be seen as what? String. So that is the dynamic typing. But we don't declare comma or already. We don't declare the s and say it is integer. Okay, we don't say s is integer and then I will say s equals to 2. No, this is not Java. Okay, so it's also dynamic typing where you don't need to declare the data types before you use it. Okay, automatically the browser or the processor will take your value of the s and determine either it's automatically, that is a string, integer, or etc., whatever you want to do. So how do we save a PHP file? I said earlier that your file must have this extension. Hello, say.
Madam, I have seen a point where variables are declared in PHP with a dollar sign.
Yes, please. This computer I'm using, I cannot see my dollar sign. The Lenovo. So, yeah, the Lenovo computer. All right. So when we get to the variable, you see that is declared using dollar sign. Okay. Now we are going to save a PHP file with this extension. Okay. All right.
Hello, madam. The dollar sign is on the number 4.
Come again.
The dollar sign is on the number 4. Number 4 on the keyboard. Lenovo.
Okay. Thank you. Let me see how it works. Number 4. I should we shift, yeah.
Yeah, shift 4.
Thank you. All right. Okay, is there. Thank you. Thank you. So right now, okay. I want to copy the exam. Mm. Hmm. Okay, so either I use that one or change the computer. Please, I have to change this computer laptop. The other one exam. Mm-hmm. Ilan, give me water. Bottle one. I can't put the other water in. Ilan. This one, bring the charger. It's in the brown bag. Bring that. All right. So I've just changed the laptop. We continue from the formatting. It's okay. Okay, so with this, we're going to start our server. Okay. This is my server XAMPP control panel. All right. We have our server starting. So I'm going to start the Apache and start the MySQL. Okay. That's what we'll be using for this class. Okay. So I've started the two of them. So I will minimize that. Okay. So we said we're going to write our first file and save it onto the server. The moment you install the server, you go to the C. You go to C directory. See? You see the XAMPP there, the XAMPP folder. It's in C. Open the C file, then you see your htdoc. htdocs. All right. So this is where you are going to work from. This is where we are going to work from. Okay. When you are in htdoc, that is where you can create your project. You create your project. Okay. So let's say we are creating our project with a new folder. I'm creating a new folder for your project. And your project, I'll call it INF304D. INF304D project. So all your PHP file will be saved into your project file. Okay, so if you are creating a project for e-commerce site, you label it e-commerce site. All your project, everything will be saved there. The image, the PHP file, the HTML file, CSS, JavaScript, whatever you are doing will be saved in the folder. Okay, so let's say this is my folder, INF304D. Inside is empty. You can come inside there and create a folder for images. So all your images file will be here. You can come and create a folder for CSS file. So all my CSS file will be saved there. Go further and create a folder for media. A media, video, audio, I'll be saving it there. You are managing your project. Okay, so your real project is here, in this here. So the files that PHP file I'll be creating or in HTML, I'll be saving it on this, in this folder. Remember how we got there? From the XAMPP, when you open the htdocs. Within the htdoc, create your project folder, and everything will be saved into that project folder. So this is our project folder, INF304D folder. Okay, so that's what we are going to do now. We're going to create our first PHP file, okay, using a text editor. So I'll go inside to check for text editor. Maybe I'll use let me see. I'm going to use a Notepad++. Notepad++. This is a new not a new one we are going to save. Okay. Earlier, I showed you your first script, the first PHP script. So we're going to use a default syntax here. This is our first syntax. However, I'll start with okay. You're going to start with the HTML tag or doc tag. Okay. All right. So I can even go into any of these documents. You see the PHP. Okay. So I want the up to title. I'm going to reuse. Remember, up to the title is the HTML. Up to the title, there is the HTML. So here I have my header. You close your heading. Okay. You close the head section. As usual, whatever we want to display in a browser will be in the body tag. Okay, will be in the body tag. So I'm going to use the body tag. What did I do? Body. Okay, body tag. And I'll have my closing body tag there. Then I close this one. Sorry. I close my body tag. All right. So then we close our HTML. We close the HTML. Okay. So our focus now is on PHP. That's the only thing we have added. And to me, this is the only thing that is new to you now. Okay. Anything that is new. So that is a new thing. PHP, starting our first sentence, and then what? The sentence there. So if I put a tab there, tab, all the tab I'm adding is a white space that I talked about earlier. So let's save our first file. Okay, we are going to save it. So my saving, I'll go through C. I'll go through XAMPP. Within XAMPP, I'll look for ATDoc and then INF304D projects. These are the folders I created earlier, but I'm saving it outside the folder. Okay. So with this, we say practice or practical 1. Practical 1.php. Change the man type to all. All right, so we have saved our first PHP file. Your first PHP file is saved. If you want to debug, you go to your folder. This is my folder now. This is our first practical 1.php. But you cannot double click here and it will debug for you. So what you have to do is to go to your browser. You go to any browser, then you start your server from the browser. So here I'll say localhost / the folder name. / the folder name. Our folder is INF304D project. Then the file name. Our file is what? Practice.
Practical one. Practical one.
Let me check it. Our file name is practical1.php. Practical1.php. Then you enter. Okay, so that's what we say. That's our display. Practical1.php. Default syntax. So that's what is there. PHP echo. We use echo to output. Okay, echo to output. Default syntax. Then we close our. So our sentence here can be changed to welcome. Welcome to PHP made easy. Then you save your work. So you go back to the browser and refresh. Welcome to PHP made easy. That's the only thing we are displaying for now. So by this, you have written your first PHP. Your first PHP. Okay. Your first PHP is written. Okay. Give me the earpiece. It's in the brown bag. All right. So this is the first PHP. So I hope you can write your first PHP now.
Madam, please, can you kindly take it again from the exam, please?
All right. So if you can write your first PHP now, then we'll continue. So that is a general format of PHP.
Please, madam, can you kindly take it from the exam, please?
Come again.
Can you kindly please take us back from the exam? Hello?
So this is a PHP file. And we stated earlier in web development, anything you want the user to see should be in between the body tags. This is our starting body tag. This is the closing body tag. Then in between, you start your PHP instruction. Close your PHP instruction. You use echo to output. So echo to output. Can you tell me how we output something in the browser in JavaScript? Who can remind us? Yes, say.
We have document.write. We have console.log. We have alert and the rest.
Alert, thank you.
Yeah, but
Without
madam,
you
please.
outputting, nothing will show in the browser. Without you outputting something, it will not show in the browser. So we are saying here that
Yes,
for
please, I wanted to
PHP,
ask you.
you use echo. You use echo to output in the browser. Okay, so that's where we are here. Here we said you must save your file in PHP format. That's where either you save it with .php, .php3, or .patml. Okay. The file must have the extension .php or .php3 or this one, any of them. Use text editor to write your code. Then you save the file as, so that one should be done first. Use text editor. Then this is when you get my note, this is how you save it. So within the text editor, you go to file, you click on save. That's what I did. So save as. Then you look, because I've saved before, that's why it is jumping here. Then you go through the C, you go to the ATDoc or SAM, go to ATDoc, then you look for your folder, the folder you created within the before. You save, then you save your work. So that was how we saved this work. Now we continue. But I've put the process here. Process of saving your document is here again. How do we declare variable in PHP? Variable can be declared using the $sign. Okay, the $sign. So then
Please, somebody.
the variable name, then you give it a value. Example, $fruit equals to 25. Fruit is my variable name, and it has the value 25, which is an integer. You see that we didn't declare the integer type. So the browser will process it, or PHP engine will process it as integer or number. A variable can be tested to determine its value, whether it has value or not, using the isSet function. So if I declare this variable $fruit, and I can say isSet $fruit in the bracket as my parameter. So this will output true because $fruit has a value. So note that to declare variable, you use just a $sign. So I can go ahead to say $sign. Let me see how that my $sign is working. It's not working. I don't know what happened to this browser. Okay. Okay, let me change it. Okay. So okay. Halima. Halima is a variable name. Okay. So if I say it's equals to what? Someone. It's equals to someone. Okay. Then you have to terminate. $Halima equals to someone. So in this case, the value is a what? String. The value for Halima. The variable name is Halima. Okay, and the value we assign to Halima is someone, which is a string. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Variable is declared using the $sign in PHP. Okay. The rule for declaring variables in JavaScript also applies to PHP. Variable name must start with a letter. So PHP variables must start with a letter or underscore. Okay. So such as here. Okay, so if I go back there, a variable must start with a letter or underscore. So that's what we have here. If I say $A is a variable, it's a letter. $fruit is correct. Or $what? Underscore A is also correct. The variable name is also correct. $fruit, $A is correct for variable declaration. Also note that PHP variable may only be comprised of alphanumeric and underscore. So A to Z, lowercase, uppercase, you can start your variable name. You can add a number in between, but not at the beginning. So I cannot say $1 fruit. One fruit, it will give you error. Variable name cannot start with a number. Variable name cannot start with a dash. Dash, it will give you error. But variable name can start with what? Underscore. It can start with underscore. This is correct. It will take it. So that's what this side is telling you. Okay. Variable with more than one word should be separated with underscore or joined together. Underscores. You can separate them with underscore or join together. So my variable, if my variable name is earlier I use this one. I cannot say $Halima Sadia. No. This space, it will give you error message. So the variable names can be joined together. What did I do? The variable name here can be joined together like this. Halima Sadia equals someone. Or you do the joining using what? Underscore. So this is correct too. Lastly, variable with more than one word can also be distinguished with capitalization. So that's what we have done earlier with capitalization. So note the variables, and now you can declare them. Even though they will start with $, we're saying that the variable name itself, there's a rule you must go by. And those are the rules we talk about here. How do we display value in PHP? The value we have assigned, how do we display them? We can display using echo. You can display using print. We can display using printf. Okay. So let's say I've declared this variable. We declare this variable. Okay, and we have assigned, the answer is, so I'll go ahead, echo, using the echo, dollar output string, that's what we want to output. We want to output it with 42, and there is exclamation mark. Then you terminate. The same goes here. If I say dollar output string equals hello, comma, world. Hello world. Okay. Print is the command. Then we have your variable mentioned. Okay. If you want to display some special characters, pre-formatted characters, together with your whatever you are outputting, that's where you use printf. That's where you make use of what? Printf. Okay. For example, we have two variables declared, $day, $high. So that's our variable, and we assign value. Okay, we assign value. So if I say printf, I want to display a sentence with those words to convert this %3, %7 to be converted. Pre-formatted thing. I use printf, not echo, not print. Okay. So let's try to display what we have here with echo. So I'm using the same code that we have here. So control V. This is my variable. Okay, so let's save this one. Then we'll go to our browser and refresh. You see that it has added it together. PHP made easy, then the answer is 42. The answer is 42. So that is, the answer is the variable we mentioned, we reference it here, then we added 42. Okay. Now we're going to add a break. We want to add a break to separate them. All right. So welcome to PHP. I'm going to make my content the HTML break. HTML break. So you can use this break, or you can use the HTML5 break. Okay. So that is the break. We refresh. You can see that it has brought it down. This is our sentence, the second sentence we are displaying, using the break in between them. So now I'm going to add break again. I'm going to add break again to display the print. Print. We'll go to print. We declare our variable. Then we are outputting using the print. Okay. So I'm adding that here. Dollar output string equals hello world. You see, the string will be in quotation. It will be in quotation. But look at the 42 we use here. No quotation because it's a number. Then I say print. Print, we are referencing the variable. This is a variable. We are referencing it here. together with the dollar sign. So we save our work again. Then we refresh. Hello world. And it has brought it to the next line. Okay. So that's what it will continue. Then we'll do the last example we have here with $day, $high. Then this is our output using printf. So in between the PHP syntax, you see that we are still using the same opening syntax. Okay, we are still using the same syntax. Okay. $day equals Tuesday, $high is 79. Printf, the high on was $day. This is where we reference $day. You just reference it. $high. We reference that one too. Okay. Let's save that one too and see it in the browser. Okay. It's joined together because we didn't add break. So I'm going to add break. Then we'll save our work. All right. Okay, so this is what we have so far. The high on Tuesday was 79. The high on Tuesday, okay, was 79. Okay. So now we know how to declare a variable and we know how to output. We say outputting values in PHP to be displayed in the browser can be done in 3 ways. Using the echo, using the print, and using what? Printf. Okay. All right. So here we are showing the simple syntax of PHP, which is here. You start your PHP tag, close it. In between, you write your PHP. So if I say, write a PHP script to display your full name, just here, it's okay. You just write your name in between here and terminate to display your full name. All right. So the syntax should come there. Oh no. This is what I just want. Echo. We already have the syntax there. Okay, we already have the question. So echo hello world. Echo your full name in the parentheses. Sorry, in the quotation symbol. Okay. So if your name is Jacob, Danso, okay, Jacob Danso, that's all. We have written a PHP to display a name, Jacob Danso, okay. But because there are other programs, we have to include a break. We save our work. All right, Jacob Danso, okay. So that is what this page is doing. Combining PHP and HTML is what I have done here. I've started with doc type, HTML tag, heading tags. Then between the body is where we put our PHP, and then we close the HTML. All right, that's how you write
Hello,
your
madam.
PHP page. Hello.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question. With all what you did, does it have anything to do with the HTML structure?
Yes, please.
Okay.
A PHP page remember, let me come again. To write to design website, okay, we need HTML. HTML is used to hold or display your content, okay? And we're saying that you can use JavaScript or PHP or CSS to cause certain changes in your web page. So we are using the other languages, okay, to add dynamic or interactivity or styling your website. So PHP here, I've told you what it can do, okay? You can use, let's give an example of a registration page. Registration page, the HTML form you design for user to be entering their username, password, and whatever is done using HTML. But now you connect the HTML with PHP to save whatever user enter into a database. Are you seeing the connection? Okay. So our page, PHP page will start with doc type, like HTML, And inside the body tag here, where is my starting body tag here? I can design my form here, HTML form. Okay. It will be processed. I can design my HTML form. But I have to add scripting language to make it perform dynamically. Are you okay?
So, madam, please, I've seen a situation whereby a form is designed with PHP.
The form, right?
Yes, a form is designed using PHP, but HTML elements are embedded into them without bringing the structure of HTML.
No. Are you saying you design, you save your file as .php?
Yes, so for example, this form you are displaying right now, so if you clear the structure of HTML, it will still work.
That's what you are talking about. If I remove all this,
yes,
with the body, okay,
yes.
I understand you. So when you remove all the structure, it's purely PHP. This is purely PHP. Okay. So I'm coming. We'll save as Particle 2, okay? Particle 2.php. Then our MIME type is still Particle 2.php. So this is our Particle 2. So we'll go to the browser window. You still start your local server. Start your server. Our file name is what? Practical 2.php, and it's in the folder with D. Okay. Yes, that it will still work. This is purely PHP.
Yes, and I saw another thing with the break. The break can be added to the line of PHP.
Yeah, it can be. It's sure. This is how I do it. This is how I do it. You can add your break, this break tag, inside here. Okay. So that can be done. Okay. Are you okay now?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So basically, that is your first PHP script. Okay. If you have your laptop, you should be able to do that now. Your PHP page will just start with the instruction. Then we output using echo. We have output using print. We have output using what? Printf. 3 ways to output something. Okay. But all what we are outputting now is just a sentence. Okay. We have not come more into the practicality of what? PHP. Did somebody answer? Yeah, John.
Yes, madam. Please, line 16 on the notepad.
16, yeah.
There's the test in the quotation mark. I didn't get it well. The high on the 7S was, I didn't get that line clearly.
Yeah, the 7S is percentage 7S here. Okay. It's
Yes.
pre-formatted. It's a pre-formatted word test. And then percentage 3D is just a pre-formatted word test.
So
Okay.
what is it referring to?
Okay. You can search for it. Percentage 7S in PHP. Do you understand? Some of them
Okay.
are spaces. Space. Okay.
Okay.
It's like ampersand MBSP in HTML.
Okay.
Ampersand is a space between the character. Okay. But this one is just ordinary sentence.
Yes.
Okay. Are you okay now?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So, all right. Thank you. We can also do write date, embed dates into our HTML page. This is a PHP date function. And here we're trying to do date formatting. Okay? With date formatting, sometimes you want to display date in a particular form. But what are we, the function you are calling to use is just the date function. It's just a date function. So ordinarily, if I say $today equals to date, okay, you can echo it, okay, date function. But in the bracket, you can see that we've added some parameters, all of them within the date function. We've added some parameters depending on the formatting that you want. For the first one, it will display the dates using what? The month name, okay, the day, the year, the time. M.D.y. You can see how that one also what? Display. Okay. Date function. Okay. So let's see how we can include this or issues in our document. Date function. So I'm going to use the second document we have here. Since we have the same content as the practical one. So practical 2, I'm going to change the content to date. Hey, how do you? Okay. So I'm just going to use the first line. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 5 formats here. 5 formats. Then I can go ahead to do without any formatting. Without any formatting. Okay. This is just the function, dates, the date function. Okay. So that dates. Okay. All right. So I'm going to change this variable to 1. Today 2. Today what? 3, 4, 5, and that was 6. To differentiate them. So here we have just declared variables. I just declare the variables. Okay. So if I go ahead to say echo, right? Echo this one, the first one, echo $day. Okay, echo $day. So that is in practical 2. Practical 2, echo $day. So we're going to look at or we can use print for the next one, the next. Okay.
Sorry, madam.
Yes.
So this one you wrote, it will not work.
Yes, please. So we're going to echo.
You have to remove.
Come again.
You have to remove the bracket and the quotation. It will change it to a string when you run.
Let me see. We want to display each of them. So $day will go here. Then we have the day 2. Day 2, we are going to use print. Echo. Day 2. Then the last one, echo again. Today 3. Okay, $day 3. But we have up to 4, 5. Okay, 4, 5. So this will continue at the bottom. So day 4, 5, 6. All right. So go back to our article 2. Article 2.html. All right. Hey. Argument. Date. That is the first one. Stack. What do you call it? On line 3. So line 3. What is wrong with line 3? The first one. Today. Today, $today equals to date. Okay. There's nothing there. Date function alone. Okay. So date line 3. Where is our okay? We say here is line 3. I added this one for the dates anyway. So let's see what happened to day 2. All right. Day 2, we have with our break, we cannot see it clearly. We can add a break to all of them. Okay. But it's true. We want to add date to all of them. So that we can clearly see the formatting. All right. So it has taken the date of my server, the server we are running for the PHP, as February 8th, 2026, 4:38 p.m. That's the first one. The second one added the date, Sunday, in a short form. Sunday, February 8th. You see the date format, the time, 4:38, okay, sent 2026. So different format for it to add it. All right. So that is one thing we can use. The inbuilt functions we call and use. So the date is an inbuilt function that we have called and use. Okay. Now we coming to reserve words in PHP. These are words that we cannot use to declare variable or function. Okay. The variable name we have declared so far, we have said $A, $lima. We cannot say $end, $else. They are reserved words meant for different purposes. So these words cannot be used to declare variable names or function. Okay. PHP is also case sensitive, like JavaScript. So if I declare variable amount equals to 200, and I go ahead to say echo with uppercase with this. So it's case sensitive. Only the first one will work. Okay. Line comments in PHP. They are done, single line comment can be done using ampersand or 2 slashes. Multiple line comments are done using this symbol. You write your lines of comments, then you close it again. Okay. Comment. You know what comment does in every programming. Okay. We know that comments are not displayed. The content in between the starting and closing comment tag will not be displayed. They are just to add explanation to our code or to debug. Even though we don't declare the data types, and I said earlier that data type are seen by the automatically. for processing whatever you have instructed the PHP to do. We, however, have two main types of data type, scalar types and compound types. The scalar types are Boolean, yes or no, float, any number with what? Dot, integer, and what? String. Sentence form, word form, number. Okay. Here we have these type of scalar types. And the compound types are the same like JavaScript. They are array, that's the example, arrays and objects. So these are array and objects, compound types. Two main types, but when you take scalar types alone, it consists of 4 data types. Compound type consists of 2 data types. So we are looking at each of them in the next few slides. Boolean. A Boolean declaration can be assigned a value of true or false. For example, if I say $answer equals to false, okay, automatically PHP engine will process this as Boolean. If I say $age equals to 31, 31 will be seen as the value, which is an integer. So integer is a whole number, no decimal point. Okay. Float as a decimal point compared to integer. Float as a decimal point. Okay. And may or may not have an exponent. So the two examples are here. Float, 12.34. Okay. A string, on the other hand, has a sequence of characters. If I say $name equals to John Smith, $name equals to John Smith. John Smith is our value, and this will be taken as string. Okay. And I said that the string value can be taken or treated like arrays, whereby you say J is the first index within the array, N is the fourth index within the array. Sorry, the third, it will be array 3. J will be array 0. So you can treat this element, the value, as arrays. Okay. In PHP, string can be concatenated using the dot syntax. So if I say $name equals to John dot Smith, if I say echo $name, it will output and join them together, concatenation. Okay, we just finished JavaScript. What can you use to concatenate in JavaScript?
The plus symbol.
There's a plus symbol, thank you. So in PHP, that is done using what? Dot syntax. All right. All right, so that is a float, and then string, Boolean, and then what? Integer. And all these are under what? The scalar types. The scalar types, okay? We are still on string, sequence of character. PHP has commonly used string functions. You may want to know the length of your string. We use strlen. You want to know the length of character in your string. We use strlen. Okay. So another commonly used or inbuilt string function is the strcmp to compare. You want to compare two strings. If you strcmp, and then the bracket, you want to compare the two strings. So this will return negative if the first string belongs before the second. If the two strings are identical, it will give you 0. Okay. If you want to compare the character position in the first string and compare it with the other, you see str pose. Okay. str pose. Okay. So all these are string function. Trim, you want to clear all white spaces within the string you have declared as a value. You use trim. You use the trim function. So
Hello,
it will
ma'am.
remove the white spaces between the two ends of your sentence from the beginning and the end. Hello. But if I'm coming, if I use L trim, meaning you want to remove white spaces within the sentence from the left. Okay. String to lower, str to lower. You want to convert whatever user entered into something into lowercase. If you want to convert any string entered into uppercase, you use str to upper. Chop. Chop will remove all white space from the end of the string. Okay. Hello, then you can talk now.
Yes, ma'am. Please, some of us have an issue with an eye, so if you could help us zoom in so we can read out the text, even as you explain through them.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you okay? Is it clear now? So this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
with the string functions. There are many of string functions, but these are some that we put here. If you go to W3 school or your model, you see more string functions. Those are the functions we can use to manipulate our declared string. If I say $A is, and I put a string as a value, you can manipulate the value and work based on our design. All right. So now we go into constant in PHP. You know, we have talked about defining a variable. And what about a constant? Constant can be defined using the define function. Okay, using the define function. And we should remember that a constant will associate a name with a scalar value. Okay, and you must immediately assign a value to a constant the moment you declare it. Okay, so for example, if I say I'm declaring a constant here, define, and in the bracket I have pi. Immediately, this is the value for pi. Okay, so pi is my variable name, and I'm declaring it as a constant the moment the engine saw define, and the value for pi is a 3.14 whatever. Okay, so immediately you declare your constant, you assign what? A value. Also, there are a number of predefined constants. ME, this is the assigned value. M_pi, this is they are predefined. So the moment you use this, the value will be whatever is being given here, constants. Okay. The next thing we'll look at is arithmetic operators. And I'm happy we just finished JavaScript. JavaScript, we talk about arithmetic operators. The same, the plus, the minus, division, multiplication, modulo, increment and decrement, they are the same. And they are here with examples again. $y equals 14 modulo 3. This will divide this and give us the remainder as the answer. So $y will become 2. So I have increment. Increment is here. If I say $y equals to 7, and in my next step I say what? $y plus plus. It will increase it by what? 1. It's an increment. So plus y will increase the value with 1. So this $y will now become 8. $y negative negative. It will decrease by 1. $y will contain 6. So when we are working with our calculations, this can come within usage. Okay. In PHP, you can define your own function or use the inbuilt function or predefined functions. You can call the predefined function and use it within your code. And you can also declare your own function using the keyword function. Okay? You can declare your function, your own function, or use it. So predefined functions are also many. The following are predefined functions that operate on numeric, on number. Okay? So floor. So the parameter, the type of the data type is double. Okay? Seal. The type of the data is also a double. Round, meaning the number is a double. You want to round it to the nearest integer. So you use round against the variable. Strand. The integer form is integer. Okay? Rand. Okay? Also, you're comparing two numbers. ABS is a data type of number, min and maximum. It can be one number or more. You want to output the minimum or round it off to the minimum. Okay, here you want to display the maximum out of the min, the largest. Okay, so there are many more inbuilt functions. So what we have listed here is based on numbers. You can call the predefined function to do something for you. All right. Just like JavaScript, we have logical operators. Logical operators. Okay. This symbol stands for bitwise not. Okay. And then it will compare. So bitwise not, so meaning not, compare two operators and display either they are what? The same or not the same, depending on your statement. And this is also bitwise and, this symbol. Okay, all are comparing. Then we have the or, logical or, logical XOR. Okay. We also have comparison operators. All these comparisons, we have used them in JavaScript. The greater than or equal, less than. We use all with example in JavaScript. So the same thing. We are just repeating it here to say that they are the same. Okay. Remember the difference between 3 equal symbol and that. This will just compare the number. But with the 3 equal sign, it will compare the number and the data types. Okay. We did that in JavaScript. Okay. With examples. Okay. The opposite of the 3 equal sign is this. Okay, the opposite is that. Okay. With selection statement, we say PHP if statement is just like C. Okay, and it's just like JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript that the control expression written in the syntax is the same like JavaScript in PHP. And we're saying that it's the same, it's like C. For example, a simple if statement to compare a grade. So we're saying that if a grade is greater than 93, it should output that student grade is A. Just one single statement. All right. Conditional statement. The condition is that we want to compare 93 and output what? A. Okay. The same example. If statement. If statement continue. If grade is greater than 93, then what do we have? Print. What did I use earlier? All right, so we are still on print. Okay. Earlier we used print student grade is A. The second one we want to print 2 statements. Print student grade is A. Honor roll value is true. Okay. The second form of if statement to compare 2 instances. So we want the computer to select from one of a number of cases. In that case, you use else if. If, else if. Okay. First, we're trying to compare it to Java. In Java, we said you use else if. Why PHP you use what? Else if. You see the writing. In PHP, you join together. In JavaScript, you separate them. It's like else if you continue. But in PHP, they are joined together. Else if. Okay. So let's say we want to compare and output one of them. Depending on the grade of student, the first control statement is that if grade is greater than 93, print student grade is an A. Else if the grade is what? Greater than 89, it should be what? A minus. So you should compare all these things. If the grade of student does not fall within 89 and then 93, you should print student did not get an A, because these two are A or A minus. else, if the student didn't get any of this, it should print. So for control expression, you want to output one of many, one out of the many. All right. And this is the syntax we can use in PHP. If for the first one, the next expression, else if, then the last we use else. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we want to look at logical operators. Logical operators, we saw it earlier. This is the bitwise logical operators, okay? Yeah, we're trying to look at some of them. We said there are 6 Boolean operators, okay? Or logical operators. The AND, the XOR, the OR, not AND, that's the opposite of that. Why is the AND here again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And that is the dollar sign. You want the dollar sign or the ampersand. Okay. All right. Okay. So these are the 6 logical operators. The AND symbol or the word itself. Okay. We have OR, we have XOR, not AND, and the what? OR. So when these are used within sentence, like the assignment operator, you are writing your statement, they do different things for us. Okay. Or not, this is not, will return true if the operand is 0 or false. And the ampersand, 2 of them within your operand will return false if either operand is 0 or false. And this will also, this symbol together will return false if both operands are 0 or false. Okay. We are comparing some operands from left to right. Just like we did in JavaScript. For control expression, we can equally use switch statement. Okay, so that's what is stated here. It is an alternative to if, else if, and else statement. So instead of using that syntax we saw earlier, yes, here, to compare and output one of them, instead of using it, we can resort to use switch statement. A switch statement will start with the word switch. Okay, then you have all your cases, then the default. So this continue up to the next page. If I declare $var as 1, my variable is var1 equals to 1. That's what I've passed here as a parameter. Okay, switch, then we have this here, but the value is 1. So we say in case 1, print the value was 1, default. That's the only thing we are printing out here. Okay, but we can use it as if statement when we have so many cases. You can come out with case 1. Print, you pick 1, break. Print, you pick 2, break. Another case 3 can come up to the default. Then you have your break. All right. So this is the end of the switch statement. And with this switch statement, we are comparing 2 things. Okay, 2 things. With the second option, we just using it as if only one case, with 1 case, then you end it with the default. Okay. All right. For looping, we can do looping in various ways. PHP loop is also can be done with while loop, just like JavaScript. So I'm not going over because we just did it. PHP loop can be done using while loop. Okay. That is repetition. You want to repeat certain things, the number of times, and then what? Display it. Okay. So this will continue to display whatever you want to display. That loops is repetition. And I'm saying that PHP script also supports while loop. Okay. Also support while loop. Okay. And this is our syntax for the while loop. You start with the while keyword and your condition. The condition for the repetition. And in between the bracket, you have your what? The statements. The statement to execute the number of times. This is your condition. So here we say $count equals to 1. That is example. Okay. And our looping start from the here using the while keyword. We say $count. This $count. $count is less than 72. So it will continue the repetition up to what? When the number is less than 72. That's the condition. And the statement to be repeated is what we have here. And we are using print for the output. Print $count, that is, we are referencing our count again. And we're saying count plus plus. Okay. While loop. Okay. So we say as long as the condition evaluates to true, okay, meaning up to 71. Is to evaluate up to 71. That is less than 72. The code will continue to execute because of the increment. Okay. Another way you can do looping is using the do while. So we're saying it works the same like the while loop, except that the condition is evaluated at the end of your statement. Look at what we have here. The same code we have turned it here. We say $count is 1 is the same. Then in this case, we are using the do while condition. So we'll start with the keyword do. Okay. Our statement is here and our condition is down. So while count is less than 72, this is what we want to be done to output. So the syntax is here for us. The next looping repetition you can do in PHP is using the for loop. For loop. And with the for loop, we have different syntax. That one too, you start with the 4 keywords. 4 keywords. Okay, so For for loop, you have your statement, $count equals to 1. So when we were using while all along, no, it will be part of our parameters. So we say $count is less than 72, $count plus plus. And we have your print. So this is the simplest form. Okay, the simplest form. So note that you can add a break to separate the looping. Instead of displaying on a single line, you can add break for our looping to be displayed. So if I may ask, how many kind of loop or repetition statement do you have in PHP? There are 3. There are 3 of them. Using the while loop, using the do while loop, and using the for statement. For loop statement, 3 kind of looping. So are they the same as JavaScript? Can we say they are the same as JavaScript?
Oh, madam.
I can't hear you. Looping. Are they the same?
Madam,
Yeah.
in the PHP, we have another one called for each.
For each loop.
For each.
For each. For looping.
For each, yeah.
And that's why I'm saying that for loop. But these 3 we stated here, are they the same in JavaScript?
Yes, madam.
So they are the same as in JavaScript. Who is Andrew?
Madam,
Andrew, yes.
Madam, it's like one of our lectures have just started.
Another lecture. Okay. Okay. So let me see what I have. Typecasting. All right. Then get time. Okay. The rest are just functions. Get tab. All right. So the rest you can practice them yourself. You can practice what you have. Okay. So the exercise here I gave it as with error. This exercise is with error in them. So you have to look and correct them. Okay. Look, steady and correct it. Okay. All right. So you stop here and you can go to your next class. All right.
Madam, please, can we get the slide, please? Your PowerPoint slide.
You always get the slide.
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Madam, so the quizzes, will it cover up to this?
It's the quiz. You are writing only quiz 1 first. Is that not it?
Yes, please.
That will be on JavaScript alone. Okay. JavaScript alone. Okay. I don't know when is the quiz.
Next week.